Okay, I just wanted to start off by saying a big scholar from the HAROKEACH was also known as Rabbi Eliezer Migarmaizer. He was a Rishon, and he was the one who taught the Ramban Kabbalah. Everybody knows that the Ramban was from the famous Mekubalim of the Rishonim, but he learned it. There's a whole story, which is not for now, how it came about that the HAROKEACH was going to teach the Ramban Kabbalah. But one of the things that he brings in his Sefer, which is called Soides Rabbi Eliezer Migarmaizer, and the reason I'm saying it over, normally we don't say over these things, but since many people are chalishing to have children, and he gives a skula, and it's a skula from a Rishon, and it's written down, it's brought down, so it has a good shirish, a good makar. So those who know what to do, hopefully will do it. And I'm going to read you, explain as best as I can what it takes to do it, and those who still have questions should email me or send a comment. Pasuk says, Sha'ala vicha v'ya'azreka v'es shakai v'yivaracheka. So you see that the Shem shakai is a bracha for Peri v'rivya. And it continues the pasuk, Kel shakai nira elai beluz, hineni mafrecha v'hirbisicha. That from this Kel shakai, that Shem Kel shakai, so you'll see from there, and hineni mafrecha v'hirbisicha. So why is it that this Shem Shakai is the one that is shaylit on Peri v'rivya? So you see, he brings two psukim that show you that the Shem Shakai has to do with Peri v'rivya. Now, how does it work? The lashon is, which is a confusing lashon. I'm going to read you the lashon, then I'll explain it. It says, "Kishatikach es hanelam hanoilad mimenu v'tosir ha'av hagoli lecha," which, just reading the Hebrew, means absolutely nothing. But based on what we've learned in past from Arizal, from other places, it works like this. Every Shem has a pashut, every letter has a pashut and a milui. So if you take, let's say Shem Havaya, so the pashut is called Yud K Vav K, and the milui, so every letter has its own different milui. One has, I'll say on a Yud, so the Vav Dalet is called the milui, and the Yud is called the pashut. Right? And then the other letters, the Hayes, could be, written out different ways. And the Vav also, main point is that there's a pashut and a milui. So when he says, you take the hidden, v'toser ha'av, av meaning the pashut, and take the hidden, which is called the milui. So if you take the name Shakai, so the shin is the first letter in Shem Shakai. So you take off the shin, tosir ha'av, take off the shin, and you're left with a yud and a nun, right? And then you take the dalet. A yud, shin is a yud and a nun. You spell shin as shin, yud, nun. Take off the shin, you're left with yud, nun. Take the dalet, take off the dalet, you're left with lamed, taf. Take off yud, you take off the yud, and you're left with a vav and a dalet. Altogether, they total Taf Kuf, which is 500. So just like we say that in order for a person, when a person gives birth, so there's going to be 500 Eivarim, which is, this is Chazal brings us, and this is anyhow, this is the HAROKEACH saying it, there's Ramach Eivarim leZachar, and Reish Nun Beis Eivarim leNekeva, and the Nekeva has 4 more than the Zachar Saviv leErva. That's the Lashon. And therefore also the words Peru or Revu is Gematria Taf Kuv, which is 500. Therefore you see that this name of the Milui of Shem Shakai, not the actual Shem, but the Milui, should be Mechavin to the 500. And if you don't, in order to be Mechavin, what you're supposed to do is you spell it out. Now let's say like write it on a piece of paper and then take off the original, the Shin itself and the Dalet itself, and you're only left with the Yud Nun. I don't have a picture. If you have questions, you could ask me. I don't have I unfortunately do not have show and tell. And therefore, that's what you're supposed to be mechaven to. So therefore, when a person is asking for children, banim uva'nais, you should ask with this name. And also he says another ayat that the mahalach that's brought down from when you're going from one olam to the next olam is 500 years, and it's hidden in the name Shakai. And when it was expanding, so then Kodesh Baruch Hu said, Amar l'shamayim dai is a siman Shakai l'shamayim dai. Why? L'fi Shakai ein dai loyla avdai. Nizka Shakai b'neviyah ha'umais machazeh Shakai yechazeh v'yiras Shakai yazov. That's at the end. That's not really related to the skula. But basically, just to understand the skula, again, is Shem Shakai. Take off the shin, the dalet, and the yud, and then you're left with the yud nun of the shin, the lamet tuf of the dalet, vav dalet of the yud, which altogether is oile to 500. If you want to know how to be mechaven, it's not for right now. If anybody is really interested, so they could let me know. And aside from that, through the comments. And the other thing is that it's not stam a skula. This is coming from the HAROKEACH, which is not in the same league as any other skulas. Obviously, it's Baduk U'Menusa, if you have the right kavanas.